So for the past year I've been running the Crank Brothers Mallet 3s. Before that, for 6 years I was running Shimano, the SPD pedals, the M520s, the cheapest ones you get. I've got a friend who's run them for about 14 years now and he's still on the same set. So there's one thing you can say about Shimano is they've got that ultimate reliability. When I switched first to these mallets, I wanted a pedal that felt like I had flat pedals, so when I came unclipped, you could just put your foot on the top and it'd hold you in place. Now, Shimano brought out trail pedals with a platform around it. They were perfectly smooth, and to be honest with you, they did nothing whatsoever. They were a waste of time, a waste of money. However, as an SPD pedal, they were fine. They're good and reliable, just like the M20s, but you've never really got any advantage over what you got on the standard SPD pedal, which is what led me to these. With the mallets, they took about a day to get used to, and that was it. These pins are adjustable, and when you unclip, doesn't matter which shoe you've got, if your foot's on top of this pedal, it feels like a flat pedal. And in fact, when you're riding, it feels like you're using a set of flats, and it took very little time to get used to, and I like them very much. Crank Brothers said they fixed the reliability issues they had with the pedals. With these, they changed bearings and bushings or whatever. So I'll just give you some experience, the honesty behind this. I've had these for a year. I've been through 3 sets of the Crank Brothers cleats. They make the cleats out of brass. The reason they make them out of brass is because they say you would rather change your brass cleats than change your pedal. Never have I had to change a pedal because the cleats were made of steel, or whatever they're made of. What the brass does mean is they're soft, they wear in quickly, nice to your foot, so you get used to them really quickly. However, they're soft, you'll go through 3 sets a year, and 20 quid a set, that's 60 quid in cleats. Then you've got the added fact that these still aren't reliable. This here, if you have a look into the corner, focus. All that's in there is 2 very thin back-to-back washers. That's the only thing stopping grime from getting into the bushing, and it's a bushing, not a bearing on this side. I just took my bushing out of this just 10 minutes ago and it is in a hell of a mess. It's in bits. That means the pedal didn't move whatsoever. When you move it, crunk, crunk, crunk. Happened in the middle of the Alps. I took it apart, I greased the hell out of it just to get it moving, and then I could use it. But that's a year old. 3 sets of cleats, £60, a bearing refresh kit, £80 a year just to keep this pedal running. But this is the best pedal I've used. Because I was annoyed at how quickly these pedals died, I went back to Shimano at exactly the same time. Shimano just brought this out. There's no denying, that's a pretty pedal. Pretty pedal. Same SPD interface in the middle. So you've got that reliability, you know that's going to last years. You won't have any problems with this, and the cleats, they're not brass. Stupid idea. I put the front pins here at their highest and the back ones at the lowest. Now the reason I do this is because I want my foot to grip if I come unclipped, but I don't want it to grip too much on the back so I can unclip. That's something I learned from these. All the pins are at different heights, just set up so I can unclip when I need to unclip. The ceiling, where Crank Brothers has the problem, look at it on here compared. They've sealed it and then they put this around the end to make sure no ingress dirt gets in there. I don't even need to come back in 2 years and tell you that this pedal will still be hanging around and it won't be broke. I won't need to service it, I won't need to touch it, just like every other Shimano pedal I've ever had. This, if I buy a refresh kit, in 3 months I'm going to have to buy a new set of cleats. Then I won't lie, this bushing hasn't only just gone, this has been going for a while. I say 5 months in, and these pedals will lock in after a ride, and I lubricate these after every ride. So I got these. Now am I happy with these? No. That's a nice pedal, it's reliable, it's got a platform on it. However, these pins, which are all the way down the side on the crank brothers, all across the top, sorry, 3 of them adjustable. And if you look how much higher the actual pedal interface sits compared to the pedal, your shoes don't contact these. It's like their other trail pedals, it doesn't actually help you in any way whatsoever. Whereas this, once you're clipped in, your shoe is actually on the pedal and it holds you in place. So I'm using flat shoes as well, clipped in, holds you in place. This one, you're sat on top. You don't actually touch the pedal. I have to angle your foot forward just to hopefully get onto these 2 spikes. You still get that classic Shimano feeling with the trail pedals sliding around when you become unclipped. That's the biggest letdown for me here. If Shimano had raised this side and this side up as high, almost as high as the middle, you would be able to use these and they would feel like flats. When you're running these, they feel like you've got SPD shoes on and they never feel like flats. So, in short, that's a bit of a letdown. I'll probably still use them because I don't want to pay £100 a year just to keep a pedal moving. It should be a fit and forget item. So, if you're looking at pedals, I know you're probably thinking, do I spend £100 odd on this one or £100 odd on this one? You can't just go out and buy them and test them and test this. It'll add up to hundreds of pounds. But better pedal. Much better pedal when it works. Costs too much to keep working. Crank brothers, get rid of the brass cleats. Get rid of this fucking bushing in the back here. Put a bearing in there. I would rather clip out a bearing than clip out that bushing that's in there. It's a pain in the ass. And seal it properly. These, you still need to make the platform up. It needs to feel like a flat shoe if you're going to give it as... Look at the height on that compared to the pedal. Focus back in. So yeah, there you go. I spent a fortune on mountain bike parts, so I'm just doing these little videos just to help people out in their purchases so they don't waste money. If you still like Crank Brothers and you don't mind paying the money to have a refresh kit all the time, or you may not go through as many cleats as me, but even one a year and one refresh kit is 40 quid a year to keep this running. Brilliant pedal. I just wish it worked. And I know you're going to say, this is the Mallet 3, you could get a Mallet Enduro and they're higher quality bearings. The refresh kit from the whole range is exactly the same. That means those internal products are the same. Doesn't matter which pedal you're using, whether they tell you it's more reliable or not. And with that, I'm out of here.